Welcome back, sneakerheads, nerds, and soul collectors. Today we got a special unboxing. This thing isn't even supposed to hit shelves until next month. Most pre-orders that were pre-ordered months ago, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, they said it was going to be delivered in May. Now it's being pushed back till June. I was lucky enough to grab this at one of the local stores. It's the Playmobil Back to the Future DeLorean with Marty, Doc, and of course the world's first time traveling dog, Einstein. I was lucky enough to grab it. Let's unbox it, let's build it, and see what we got. Let's get to it. Alright, so before we crack this thing open, let's go over a few details that this thing does have. This is the Playmobil edition of Back to the Future. Recently they've done Scooby-Doo, and before that they did the Ecto-1 and the Ecto-1A of Ghostbusters fame. And this is the latest one, premiered at New York Comic-Con last October in 2019. I was lucky enough to see it in person and could not wait for this thing to come to stores. So, of course, had to grab it. It's got the Flux Capacitor, it's got lights on it. I don't know if it has sounds, I guess we'll find out when we put some batteries in it. We've got the plutonium chamber with Doc. It's got the time circuits, and then it shows that there are another set of Doc and Marty figures. Couldn't find those, but we'll get those eventually. Of course, it's got the plutonium case, and it's got the plutonium chamber, and the stopwatches and stuff. So let's unbox this and see what it's really like. It says it's only about 64 pieces, so let's get to it. There are no batteries currently, but we're going to get some and fire this thing up. So, if you guys have followed the channel, guys and girls have followed the channel before, you know that I am a huge Back to the Future fan. Always have been, always will be. The streaming service Netflix just premiered all 3 Back to the Future movies within the last month. So I watched them. But if you caught in recent news, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, they saw that version on Netflix thanks to an eagle-eye fan. And the one on Netflix is actually a censored version that they never knew existed. I guess Universal did it for some type of TV, or I don't even know, just to cut some of the pieces out or censor the pieces out of the Ooh La La magazine. And they've actually ordered that version to be completely destroyed, never to be seen again. The uncensored version is now on Netflix, but if you caught it in the first couple days being on there, it was a censored version, and if you watch the movie as much as I have, you'll definitely catch it within the first couple of seconds of that iconic scene of him going, ooh la la, ooh la la, flipping through the almanac or the dirty magazine, if you will. But anyway, let's get back to building this.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
So it is fully built. What a pain in the neck these decals were. And we got some batteries in here, so let's light her up. Flux capacitor fluxing. So after a bit of technical difficulties while doing that unboxing and the decal placement on this thing, it is finally done. And I have to say, it's a really nice scaled model. Obviously it's Playmobil, a little cartoonish, but it looks great. The biggest pain in the neck was these decals for the flux bands and the taillights, but the flux bands were probably the worst, and it's got to take somebody with a lot of patience to put those on, because I was ready to throw this model out the window. As much as I love Back to the Future and DeLorean, those things should have been printed parts, even maybe like dimpled blue. It does give it a nice aesthetic with the silver decals because they're somewhat translucent. The flux boxes, I mean, this thing is great. The flux capacitor, well, here's the button, lights up when they're traveling through time, which is another great addition. It has two modes. It has the blinks, and then it has the steady, always on mode, which is great for display. And then after about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, it turns off. So this will definitely be on the shelf and lit up in some fashion. Don't know exactly how. There's no sounds to it, which is fine. Like the Ecto ones back here from Playmobil, those actually do have lights and sounds, and it's that annoying Ecto one, but it is iconic, the siren going. So I'm very curious. I thought these headlights were supposed to light up, but I guess they don't. But the flux capacitor lighting up is a huge touch to this, especially for this different model. Anyway, so decals had to be put on this. Again, this should have been printed. You got Einstein, Marty, Doc. Doc's remote, you have to do the decal on, and you have to put the skateboard together. So that's where your 64 pieces come into play. And it is great, but again, those decals are a pain. So if you don't have the patience, I say get somebody that does have the patience to put these decals on. It's gonna go right next to my other Playmobil movie vehicles. This is great. It even, like I said, has the hover mode. Does that even stay now? There we go. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this unboxing. Come back next time. Let me know, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna get the model? Do you already have it? Are you lucky enough to find this in the local stores at your neck of the woods? I'd love to know who else has these. Thanks again. We are Nerd Logic, signing out. See you next time.
Say hi to your mom for me.